Hey everybody, this is Cesare Warren. I am an education professor, a singer-songwriter, and author of Centering Possibility in Black Education. And this is Centering Possibility Live, where I am having the opportunity to talk with artists who contributed to the book. And today I'm really excited to talk to one of the spoken word artists, a performer, an entrepreneur, Jason Squeeze Ford, who I'm going to bring on now. And I'm very excited that we had a little time and space to come together. How you doing, Jason?
I'm doing pretty good, pretty good. Really great, actually.
Good, good. So we're gonna jump right in because these are not super long, and so we'll just start with having you introduce yourself. Who is Jason L. Ford, otherwise known as Squeeze?
Yep. So, like you said, my name is Jason Ford, and I was named Squeeze. That came later in life. I was born with Jason, and Squeeze was like a name that came later, after I got older, like high school. Just being able to always thinking outside of the box, always like and they just came up with Squeeze. I think it's because where I grew up was Saginaw, Michigan, pretty sometimes marginalized community, and that's kind of what happens in those situations. You just come up with random nicknames. So that's how I got Squeeze.
I mean, we black folks,
Yeah,
we gonna have a nickname somewhere. Somebody's gonna give us a name that our mama didn't put on our birth certificate, and we good with it. So you're
yeah.
from Saginaw, currently in Detroit. And for a second, tell us a little bit about what's bringing you joy. This is being recorded the day after we got a verdict of convict for Derek Chauvin, but at the same time, we lost, another black girl in Columbus, Ohio. So the world is crazy, but what is bringing you joy in this moment?
Uh, to be honest, what brings me joy is like having that deep connection with God through yourself. The world
Mhm.
is crazy. It's a lot. It's a lot going on. It's a lot every day, and you can get like washed in the wave of it and kind of like get churned up in it and kind of get mixed all up into it. And we are all a part of it. You got to realize that as individuals we are all a part of it because we're human, we're living beings connected to this like social system. But what we have to realize that like the healing starts within, and we have to spend time with ourselves and being connected with ourselves and listening to that voice, that tells us to move in a positive direction because
Mhm.
that's the thing that really gives happiness. People search. It's not like people search for happiness all the time and joy. They look through money or uh, uh, insult to injury to someone else and all types of things. But in the end, it's really about like how do you like that connection that you feel with yourself, and I've
Mhm.
been bridging that connection. I've been really focusing a lot of time, um just trying to keep my mind, body, and spirit like all aligned, and it's really been keeping me joyful.
I love that. I love that. And I think how what you just described in terms of the ways that you're connecting with God through yourself and being intentional about turning in is reminiscent of the pieces that you submitted for the book, Black Bodies and My Name Is. So, can you tell the audience a little bit about these pieces and why you wanted to contribute them to a book like this, Possibility?
Definitely. So first, thank you, just for having an opportunity and just being able to get the words out there and getting out there. The first one is My Name Is. I think that's chapter 4. My Name is a poem that kind of speaks to the high school student or the middle school student that's in the marginalized environment in those community, those public schools, that have to have a connection through the world through one conduit. Like when I was a student, um, I didn't know a lot about the world outside the world that I was in. I knew a lot about the world that I was in, but I didn't know a lot about the not really about the world outside of that. So when people come into it, they come into it and they tell you and they project something onto you and they let you know, oh, this is what the world is for you. And all the time that's not true, you know. So my name is like that journey of realization, but also that conversation that's held between the universities or the institutions or the plants or wherever it's, you know, the armies or whatever, to those high school students or those middle school students or those people that are, you know, trying to figure out who they are, you know, and realize who they are. And it's a lot of I don't want to explain it, you know, just, you know, read it, internalize it, feel some type of way, you know, and love it. Black Bodies, it was a lot more uh, abstract. It was just really focusing on the weight and the experience of the black body. You know, we don't even realize how supernatural that we have become. You know, not because we are supernatural and we may be, but just because of all the stories and all the myths and all the history that's like that's inside of us, in our history, in our lineage. It's so rich. You know, we have to be able to understand and connect all those things and see, you know, really who we are. You know, before we can find success or achieve, you know, some true level of progression, you know, for us as a whole, we have to first realize who we are and realize, you know, the weight that we carry just being who we are.
Man, that's good. Yeah. And I think part of why I wrote a book like this about possibility is to remind us who we are and where we've come from. Because there are so many messages that attempt to tell us and articulate our story as Black people. And it tends not to be favorable. And so we have to rewrite and redefine. I'm thinking of Kwame Ture. We had to rename ourselves. We have to redefine who we are in the world, because other folks have tried to do that for us. So I'm going to ask, are you willing? You want to perform one of the pieces? Give us a
Yeah.
little. Yeah, I think the audience would appreciate that.
All right, I'll do Black Bodies, since it's the newest, the freshest. So I'll do that one here. It's the fabric of our eternity. Can you see it? Isn't it awesome? How it exists beyond space and time, everywhere and nowhere. Like, you know where our thoughts rest as they manifest, hiding while being overstated. To say defining defines an understatement, the divine composition of blankets that defy described gravity, confides what's considered reality, and still somehow forced to compete with the moon. Unknown as the dawn, but a tomb, probably because the weight of how vast and abundant, so volatile and undisclosed, it has to be terrifying. Knowing that it truly exists outside of what man controls, besides all the strength that gives the weight that it holds, it has to be hard to be a star spangled in the midst of the black body, burning for what seems to be eternity until death and rebirth without certainty, forced to burn hot just to be alive, just to exist under the pressure of all black bodies. But eyes don't notice, not trained to focus that every inch and perspective is covered in stars. Every perspective presented possess something so dense, all the time in the blink of an eye, unnoticed, unknown to those who follow the signs of the locust while providing the pretense of having becoming black bodies. So heavy that sometimes it gives into gravity and falls from the sky, fills the depths of our waters, returns life despite derelict in the theft of our flowers. What a wonderful power. Can you feel it in an ounce of it? All the time pronouncing it more than a man or mouse in this paradigm that would ignore like the soul it splits. If you can grasp the whole of it, of your black body. How much of time and history is inscribed in this quantum mechanics? In the alignment of planets in your mind, you can balance times and scales with true gallant if you can collect the pieces that complete you. Become so massive where your light won't escape, where your life defines spaces impossible to explain to those who have never seen it. Those who can feel it to close enough to experience it is fixed to become part of it, to become one with the heart of it, but still unexplainable to the bodies that are part from it. Do you see your part? And it's a beautiful sight when you see it. A sight broad as being, as broad as the universe itself, the true composition of all black bodies.
Man, that's brilliant. Thank you for that. I wish I had a an applause track. We just snap it up. We just snap it up. This is dope. Jason, where can people find you? How can people get in touch with your work and with you and all you're doing?
Yep. You can go to the website, one stop shop there at squeezefirst.com. That's squeeze FIRST.com. Also, if you're on Instagram, you can find me at Shot by Shot Studios. That's Shot X Shot Studios. And also squeeze.1st. That's squeeze first on Instagram. Look it up. Also, I mean, if you're on Twitter, squeeze with the threes for the E. So SQU33ZE.
Yes. All right. I want to appreciate you for making a little time to just come chat it up with me. I think as folks are reading the book, they can come back and reference this and be inspired by the artists who helped to create this work of art. And the book is now available. So for folks who are interested and ready to purchase, please go and get Centering Possibility in Black Education. It is the substance of my freedom dreams, as I've said before. You can go to my website, ChezareWarren.com, to get the book. And I look forward to being in conversation. I want to thank Jason for spending a little time again with us today. And I look forward to talking to y'all again soon. Take care.